afternoon, everybody. So, my great preoccupations these days is obviously not for me, but for the people that I love, um, the people that I spend my time. This wonderful industry of ours, the wine and food industry. I always try to stay really focused and positive whenever it's possible. Uh, have a great smile and make sure that we can always see the best side of us, all the things that are important, all the things that are great, and without any apologies, always support my friends, colleagues in the wine and food industry. It's a big industry. It's an industry that affects millions and millions of people. And it's hard to just watch this process in place that is so uneven and so unkind to people like us, immigrants, first timers, people that save their life to work hard to kind of open up the little dream cafe or little dream bistro. Someone who just starts at distributions because they believe they can bring some great product to the marketplace. All those things that we take almost for granted is the multi-facet and complicated business that is the food and wine industry. You know, a chef like me, coming from a small country like Italy with great hope and dreams to be self-sufficient, someone who writes a story every day about my own life and in turn touch so many lives. But if we go beyond just the human story of me, we can see behind us a wonderful countries, many thousands of people they are involved into what we do. Every time I talk about a bottle of wine, I'm talking about several hundreds people involved. Not just the grapes, but somebody who has to mend the land, someone who has to prune the vines, someone who has to pick the grapes, someone who has to crush, somebody has to make the barrel, somebody has to, along the way, bottle, boxes, ship it, the drivers. All these people are affected by everything we do in our everyday life. So with that kind of heavy heart, with that kind of things in mind, I want to come to you and appeal to the better angels inside all of us and to explain to some of my friends, colleagues, and most of all, some of our customers. None of us, and I really believe this, regardless whatever politics you believe into or whatever politics you profess to believe into, none of us has to take any of this situation we in with the COVID and everything else lightly. We do. We do take it very seriously. In fact, probably we are the people most equipped against this situation because we go through OSHA, we go through training, we understand the wash your hands, protect yourself, take care, sterilize everything before and after service. We do wash everything before and after service. We already have, in a normal days, those concerns. We always do. So for us to be the group that gets penalized, not being able to participate in the solutions, it's really infuriating, especially when we become the scapegoat for all the problem that we see, infections and other stuff, the numbers, the increase. And when I heard that we are the place where the most infection happen, it just lies, infuriate me because you know that people come into our restaurants from somewhere. Let's try the other places like Costco, Walmart, Amazon drivers, and all the other people. See, it's easier here to take a lights and just move it and trying to point to someone else. No, we won't do that. It's not what I want to do here. Here's what I want to do. I want to tell you something that is basics here. I love this country. I work hard. I raise a family. I try to every day put the best foot forward. Today is my birthday. I was born 63 years ago. And in 63 years, I never imagined that this country would be at this point. I was already infuriated when we behaved the way we did after September 11. We gave the terrorists the win because now we are terrorized. We go to an airport, we have a TSA, people, they invade our privacy as if terrorists are just going to walk through Los Angeles airport and just go through TSA, say, hey, I got 2 bombs on me. This is so stupid, so idiotic. And now we are doubling down on our insanity. There are solutions. There are absolutely qualifying solutions that we can all help each other out. Of course, the first and most important things we do, we care about each other's and our neighbors. As a restaurateur, I do that every day when I buy the food, when I serve the food. It's always on my mind. People ingest things. I want to make sure they're healthier. So for restaurateur, winery, wine shops, people in the food business, cafe, to be penalized at this level without any thought about the consequence that is created is just unfathomable to me. So you mean to tell me that it's dangerous to walk into a restaurant where tables are 6 feet apart, people sitting down and having a meal, people that already know each other, but it's okay to go to a big superstore like Costco, hundreds of people walking around. Sure, they got their mask, but you can have that in a restaurant too. And walking around, bumping each other with the cart, try to grab things, looking at things, and that's okay. That is really okay. I think it is okay if we use the same measure, same metric for everyone across the board in our society. Either we do or you don't. But just let me give you a little sample what my industry is being penalized with. We are the first entrance, the first door for kids out of high school who wants to enter into working force. We are the best options for a student who goes through hard time to pay their loans because they can come to the restaurants and pick up some shift on their time, a couple hours, and make some money to pay for their rent. We are the first door of entrance to immigrants who come here, don't speak the language, and they find the safe harbor into their ethnic group restaurants where they can speak a little bit of language and learn the other language. So as you see, when you shut down a cafe, a restaurant, a bistro, what you really shut it down is the underbelly of your society. The place where people are coming in this country or in your neighborhood and to begin their life in our society. You also have shut down the lifeblood supply to your community. So before you just come up with this draconian ideas which makes no sense at all and is based not in science, is absolutely absurd that you call that a science. That's a science of imbeciles. Why don't you actually think about the aftermath of what you're doing? Or what are you proposing? It's evident here that you have no solutions. You have no idea. And whoever put it in charge, we vote you in charge, we really made a big mistake. Because leadership needs vision. Leadership needs understanding of the consequence that is created all across the society at large. When we have a group of doctors just talking, why are we not sitting at that table? There are hundreds, thousands of restaurants around California and around the United States. Why are we not at the table? Why nobody's asking us? They just said, just shut off. Don't worry about it. Stay home. It's for the better of everybody else. Really? That's cute. Who's everybody else? What about the 100 busser boys, the 100,000s of waiters? What about the 100,000 hostess? What about the 100,000 cooks? Is anybody care about those? Oh, sure, you're going to send them a check. Okay, what check is that? Do you know that actually these people were working 2-3 jobs already? And what about the dignity of it all? What about it? Did you even care when I hear the governor of California say he has empathy for what? He just had a $22,000 meal in one of the finest restaurants in California, which I hope stays open. He deserves to stay open. But clearly, he doesn't think this thing is a big deal because he's there with the top guns of California, the people they're making all the decision. Meanwhile, I have friends with the restaurants. They don't know if they're going to make payroll for the December, which is the greatest day, the greatest month in our industry. I understand. We try to save as many lives as possible. It reminds me that there are a lot of the life that maybe they're not that important. And for those people out there, my friends, they keep on saying, oh, it's just the economy. Maybe you should look on the statistic. The first 10 disease with the most death in the world and in America, it's got nothing to do with actually infectious disease. Mostly are things that we could fix, like heart attack, coronary, and so on. Check it out. Get educated. But you don't see those count every night on TV. You don't see those count every single news media. And yet, those are things that we can fix every year, every day. Stress, bad nutrition, and all the other things that we do. But you don't see those talking about. It's not sexy. But taking our freedom away, taking our ability to earn a living, taking our ability to be healthy, to be sane, that's okay. We are to really concern. And suddenly somebody tells me, what happened to the flu? There's no more flu this year? It's over? See, all those things are argumentative. But what we cannot argue is the base that if you treat people differently in one society and you tell them they are not essential, you are looking for trouble. You dehumanize human beings in your society, and that is not right. So, my prayer on my birthday, I'm very heavy on my heart, is that I hope that the people in charge, they become better people, and they start to understand that the law should be equal to all, whether it's a Walmart, an Amazon, or a small little cafe down the street in Fresno. We should all have the same opportunity to earn our living and to participate in the solution of the problems. We're not saying we want anything special. I don't want anything special from anyone. I just want to have an opportunity to be part of the solution and not be alienated because whatever activity I chose to do in my life is dangerous for you. It's not. The virus didn't choose a restaurateur. The virus doesn't choose anyone. It's equal opportunity. So therefore, if we have to do whatever it takes to take care of our society in large, let's start with recognize that we all equal under the law. Let's start with recognize that we all are essential. And let's don't make the same mistake we did in 2008. The bank were too big to fail, so we saved it, and everybody else who owned the house got screwed. Because this seems to be the trend of this country. This seems to be the trend of our people in charge. Maybe we all have to take a second look on both parties and say, you know what, maybe it's time to bring in somebody else. Maybe it's time to start thinking differently. Because this idea that a company is too big to fail, and me down the street with a little 1,600 square foot little place, I am insignificant and non-essential, it's bullshit. So let me reiterate this. I pray for all my colleagues and everybody involved in this wonderful business. But most of all, I pray for those people that we put in charge to take us very serious, because we're not kidding. Our life is important just like anyone else. And you think that somebody in ICU on a deathbed is actually dying and we not? Yes, we are. Our society, when you alienate us, when you marginate us, we are dying. Just like the thousands and thousands of homeless in our society. Yes, they are dying. We should become a better country. We should become a better state with a better understanding what is the future should be. Instead of to sweep everything under the rug and just close down the state, something good's going to happen. Nothing good will happen, ever, when you avoid the problems. You must recognize what the issues are. You must recognize what the problems are. And after that, become intelligent enough to ask the right hard questions. How we fix this. How we all fix this. I want to be a part of the solutions. But in order to be a part of the solution, don't tell me I don't exist. Don't tell me I'm not essential. Don't tell my colleague they don't exist. They're not essential. They are. We all are. We're here. And for them, my friend, for my birthday, I want to hope and pray that everything is going to be a little more intelligent from now on. And